What's up everybody, my name is Bobby and today I've got a real quick video for you guys. A lot of you have been curious because of how big the brand new Apple Watch Ultra is, how are the old bands going to look on this brand new watch style and design that we just got released from Apple. Now for me, one of the most fun things about having a Apple Watch is all of the different bands that I've accumulated over the years. I really love that they're compatible year after year, and when this design was rumored, everybody was very worried if their old bands or the band collection that they've accumulated, was it going to fit on the new Apple Watch? Well, we have since learned that yes, it does fit, only in relation to the larger size Apple Watch. So this right here is a stainless steel Series 7. This one is a 45 millimeter, and the bigger size watch bands will fit with the Apple Watch Ultra. But now that we have the design and we've seen what it looks like, you know, how wide it is and how kind of chunky it kind of comes across, what do these bands look like on the watch? And that's what I'm going to be showing you here today. I happen to have accumulated a bunch more bands even than this, but I went through and tried to pick, one of a bunch of different styles with a couple different variables and things of that nature that I wanted to show off to you guys. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. So first off the pile, which is arguably my favorite / nicest watch band that I own, this is the stainless steel link bracelet from Apple. This is arguably one of their more expensive bands, and it is extremely high quality, and it has become one of my favorites. It's the only one of these link bracelet style bands I've ever owned that doesn't pinch my wrist. And every time I wear it, people always say how professional and kind of sleek it looks. Now, being that it's stainless steel, I was hopeful that this would look really good with the titanium watch. And because it's kind of a brushed stainless steel, I mean, you guys can see right there, that is unreal sleek. That looks so good. This is probably my favorite color combination for the watch. I just love how that looks. It feels good. It flows really nicely together, and I think this watch band is a 10. Now, next up is one that you've probably already seen in other unboxings and reviews and things of that nature, but this is the Alpine Loop in the medium size from Apple, and this obviously goes really, really well together. That kind of military green and that orange pop on both sides of the watch, it looks super good together. I do really like this design, I have to say. I love this kind of titanium clip that they have and how it's super, super adjustable across the board. You can just go ahead, find the right loop. It wasn't quite tight enough, but as you can see, looks really good. It is kind of puffy. If you wear it a little tighter, it does look a little bit sleeker, but overall, I really like the way that this band looks, and I like that mechanism. Not super easy, but it's not going to fall off you. Solid band. Now, aside from the stainless steel link, this is probably one of the more popular nice bands from Apple. This is what they call the Milanese loop, which has this little magnetic kind of strap deal right there. And, without further ado, let's take a look what it looks like on the watch. So you lock it in like so. Boom, that goes together really nicely as well. Similar to the stainless steel link. That is a really good looking color combo. One thing to note, when you are setting up the compass on the actual watch itself, it does reference that having magnetic watch band, so any watch band that has like a magnetic aspect to it might throw off the reading from the compass. So if you're really into the compass on your watch, which I don't think I've ever met anyone who is, just beware that the Milanese loop magnetic clasp might affect that compass. Next up, we have the Solo Loop. So this is one of the newer styles of watch bands from Apple. I believe they started releasing these within the last couple years, but it's essentially like their, traditional athletic rubber band that comes with it. But this one doesn't have a clasp, and it actually just stretches to fit over your wrist. And so this is actually the one that I got with my stainless steel Apple Watch. Fits really nicely, and just as I expected, has the same really comfortable feel. It obviously won't get messed up with sweat, so this would be a good option for people you know, who like to do more athletic things with their watch. Looks really good. And I should also note that the fit is exactly the same. So if you had one of these solo loops, because these are, to get them to fit so nicely, they have a ton of different sizes. Whatever your size solo loop was with the previous generation will be the same with this guy. It doesn't feel any looser, tighter, even though it is a little bit bulkier. You know, one might expect it to feel tighter. Definitely does not. Now, keeping in tradition with these solo loops, this is actually the braided solo loop. And I have to say, this is probably one of the best color combos so far. I love the red with this silver and the orange hit. That looks so great. I feel like these bands will be an absolute hit with any of the Apple Watch Ultras. You know, maybe there's a better color combo, but that looks so good. And just like the other one, you stretch it out, boom. That fits really, really nice. Next up, we have one of the old style of leather links that Apple used to sell. So this one, I guess, is more relevant for people who have one of these already in their collection, but essentially threads like that. And it's made out of leather and magnets. You can go ahead and tighten it like so. Yeah, see, this one is a little big for me, which is why I haven't worn it too much. But just so you guys can see, the leather bracelets from Apple do look really nice with it as well. Next up, we've got a fan favorite for a lot of Apple Watch users. This would be the Nike Sports Band. There's a million different colors of this. This is just the one that I had on me. And as you can see, this color combo looks pretty good, I must say. I mean, it's not ideal, but I like the way it looks, like the way it fits. You can definitely get away with one of these. Next up, we have one of Apple's, I believe these are called the Sport Loop. And so if you go ahead, these ones are, in my opinion, probably one of the most comfortable Apple Watch bands that I've ever tried. But yeah, I mean, that is super comfortable. This looks almost like the predecessor of the new Trail Loop for the Apple Watch Ultra. I think that's what it's called. Whatever the Watch Ultra version of this is for running, this kind of looks like the baby version of it. By the way, I do plan to get the other watch bands and do videos on those as well, but just so you guys can see what the old bands look like with it, this would be one of their Sport Loops. Now, same exact fit and, you know, aesthetic to the Nike band that we just looked at, but this is just one of the traditional sports bands that Apple sells. I mean, I believe this comes with like all of the, you know, cheaper Apple Watches, and pretty much everyone's gotten one of these at one point. Tried and true, very, you know, comfortable, easy to adjust, look pretty good. But yeah, as you can see, not bad. Now, approaching in on the end here, we're going to be taking a look at leather Apple Watch bands for the Apple Watch Ultra. So, full disclosure, 3 of these watch bands, I actually made these 3 myself. For those of you who don't know, I've been definitely into making leather goods, and these bands are all made of shell cordovan leather, which I'm a huge fan of. This one, on the other hand, is made by Nomad, and I think this one would be an interesting one to take a look at because this is from when I used to have a black Apple Watch before I got these stainless steel last year. But the black hardware watch bands I haven't been able to really wear because they don't look good with the stainless steel silver. And so these have kind of just been sitting on the back burner. But I'm curious with this titanium and orange, what does the black hardware look like with the Ultra? So just something to note. It's not terrible. I think it looks better than, you know, it did on the stainless steel Apple Watch, but still not ideal in my opinion. But I do like the black, you know, hardware on the end of it right there. So like, you know, where the actual buckle is, I think that looks really good with the black hardware. Damn, I haven't worn this in like over a year. Yeah, just so you guys can see, if you have any watch bands that have black hardware, that's kind of what you could expect. Not my favorite, but, you know, who even cares, right? Next up, we have a very nicely worn natural shell cordovan watch band. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, you can probably just Google what is shell cordovan and it'll tell you. But it's essentially one of the nicest, rarest types of leather that you can get, and I absolutely love it. And it patinas super, super well. Fun fact, this watch band actually came from this exact same piece of leather. And you can see how much it's darkened and patinaed, and it's starting to just get so much character and shine to it. This is like with, what, 3 months, I think, of wear. And I absolutely love the way that that looks. But this would just be kind of a good example of a brown leather watch band. As you can see, looks pretty good. I must say the leather bands, or just the bands in general, do look, you know, a little unproportionally thin comparatively, but, and I, you know, maybe I'll look for some titanium hardware, because like you can see the stainless steel shine, it kind of contrasts a little bit with the more matte titanium, but overall I like it. It works. Next up, we have the black Horween shell cordovan watch band that I made, and man, that's money. That looks really, really good together. I mean, second the same sentiment about, you know, titanium hardware as opposed to stainless steel hardware, but the way that this thing shines, the silver, the black, and the orange, I think those all go together really good, and that just looks top notch. Next up, we have marbled black shell cordovan, and as you can see, it almost has like a green look to it. And the way that the dye is, it's kind of green, but marbled black, I like the way that that looks. It kind of reminds me of the military green vibe of this band. Overall though, that has been a walkthrough of all of these Apple Watch bands. If there's a style of band you're interested in seeing on it, definitely leave a comment down below, and I will try and see if I have one and maybe post a picture on the channel or, you know, my story or something like that so that you're able to see it. If you have any video suggestions of things you'd like to see, leave a comment down below and I'll try my best to make a video about it. Got a bunch more Apple Watch Ultra coverage, so make sure to stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and until next time, peace.